Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Bad Blood. It's the Interview with the Vampire recap show. It's back, baby. We're
Oh
back.
yeah,
It's
we
me,
back.
the GREG co-founder of the NAAFP, joined by my forever co-host for these shows, Mr. Steaks and Rice. Kenny, how you doing today, sir?
I'm good. As you can see, what mode I'm in. Just to let the people remember what team I always love and will always represent. 49 gang, and we talking about fanging and banging today.
Damn right. It's so last week we recapped the whole first season. And Sunday we got the episode, and Kenny, I watched it before you did. You had like an hour delay, and the second you started watching it, you sent me a message saying, "Oh, we got a lot to talk about,"
Yeah,
which
yeah,
we do,
yeah,
which we
yeah.
do.
We said at the end of the last show during the recap how um each episode has so much in it that you feel like it's a lot longer than last season. You felt like it was a lot longer than just 7 episodes. There was so much shit packed into one episode. The first episode of last season, you couldn't tell me that shit wasn't 2.5 hours long from how much information and how much shit we got into it. Come to find out, it was only an hour and 15. And the same thing happened this time. I was like, oh my god, like there's so much to talk about.
Yeah, man, what's going on? Batty and Cookies, so y'all caught up with us?
Mhm.
Good. Uh, yeah. So, last week we talked about how they Claudia and Louis managed to get away from Lestat. The plan was to kill him, but Louis couldn't bring himself to do that.
And Claudia resented him. I think he said for like 3 years she didn't talk
Didn't
to
say a
him.
word.
Right, didn't say a word. And then when she finally did start saying something to him, it was more basically of instructions on what needed to be done. Because
Yeah.
at this point, what they have done is they have left Louisiana and they are now on their way traveling through Europe.
On the way to the old country.
Mm-hmm.
Claudia knows how to hold a grudge. That's true. Speaking of Claudia, what do you think of new Claudia? Delaney Haley taking over as Claudia over Bailey Bass, who unfortunately couldn't return due to scheduling conflicts. She was fantastic last season.
So far, this Claudia is holding up. So far, I'm going to be honest with you. They made a first off, they put it in big, bold letters before the episode began that this is a new Claudia, so don't be asking no fucking questions.
Here's the explanation. We know she's different. Get over it. Like, all right, cool.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Like they said the role of Claudia will now be played by. I was like, well, damn. I guess there ain't no wonderment with this. Just don't ask no motherfucking questions. It's a new Claudia. Yes.
We're
Yes.
answering. We're getting us out the way. Don't bother us. uh,
But
I
so far she's had a good transition and I like
yeah.
it.
You can tell. Like at first, I was like, they look kind of similar. And like, okay, I kind of, with all the makeup and the hair and shit, I kind of. But I think when she talks, she has more of a like
Anger.
s- more anger and more like attitude than the first Claudia did. I don't know if that's just how she would have changed over 5 years, or if it's just the actress. But she's doing well. I do like her. I think she's
Well,
really
if
selling
you
this like teen angst against Louis very well. Like being frustrated with your father when you're like a teenager kind of thing.
oh boy, and boy do I know about that.
I was about to
Sheesh.
say
Like
you would know more about that
uh
than me.
boy, let me tell you something here, UTR fans. As a father of many, many daughters, no sons. All I have is girls. And let me tell you, the that anger that a teenage girl has for her dad can do one or two things to you. It can break you to the point where PTSD, brother, I'm still going through it. I still have two teenage daughters. Okay? I'm still going through it. I have adult daughters and I have teenage daughters. Okay. So like, yo, this it's not a game. I'm still going through it. There are days on end where I will be in this house and not a single one of my children will speak to me. Why? Because I breathed too heavy. Yeah, I blinked the wrong way. Nothing is more annoying than a teenage girl. I am so sorry. The grudge that she's holding and that not talking. Oh, that shit is real. That shit is real. And as a father, do you know what you do? The exact same shit Louis did. You go about your motherfucking day. You go about your motherfucking day. That's
I guess you have to. Shit.
Yeah.
Not you can
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man. What else are you supposed to do? Whatever it was, you probably deserved it.
Listen, I get blamed for
with Batty, man.
I get blamed for the air quality outside being wrong. Okay, so I take it.
Yeah. So, season 2, episode 1 starts off with Louis talking to Daniel about them venturing into Europe and how they were sleeping in the ground, in the dirt, on war zones, and they would come up in the middle of the night when everything was a bit quieter, and there were bodies left over to go after, maybe some people that weren't quite dead yet.
And Louis made a revelation while doing this. He said, something is wrong with the blood here. It's too sad. It's too, he said, you don't understand. As a vampire, we can feel this. And that comes into effect later on with something that happens. Now, the main reason that they're in Europe is because during that time of the planning and plotting of them getting away from Lestat, Claudia became obsessed with wanting to find other vampires, especially after she did find that she did find a vampire, and unfortunately, what happened to her. She knows, she's like, there's got to be other vampires out there like us somewhere. You know what I mean? So she became obsessed with trying to look for it, and she's traced it back to, like Mongo said, the old country. So during this time, like, they're traveling as father and daughter, and Claudia is the more proficient in, what is it? German?
It's I think it's they're kind of close to like Romania, so it's whatever that language, like some kind of Romanian and then
Right.
Russian dialect. They speak to some soldiers about being Ukrainian. So she seems to have gathered a few languages under her belt.
Right. And but Louis is more fluent in, I think, what, German or whatever the case may be, because he speaks to some, like, with certain people, Louis speaks, with certain people, Claudia speaks.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yeah, it seems to be, I think, more the German he can kind of handle. But once they get into like when they're talking to soldiers, and even when they're kind of talking to people at the shelter, it seems that Claudia does the heavy lifting.
So, and they're traveling along. Claudia's pretty much leading him along.
And even says in her journal that Louis wasn't up to the task of leading them anymore.
Right. She almost called him dead weight, pretty much.
Which is brutal. That's brutal.
Right.
Also, between the seasons, Louis has reread Claudia's journals in an effort to try and remember. He's like, shit, I forgot how much She hated my guts for a while.
Right. Right. That's why I will never touch any of my kids' journals, diaries, because I knew I'm an asshole in about 800 of those pages. So the part that had me laughing the most about this episode is we meet a character. May be insignificant, may not be insignificant. We meet Real Rashid.
Real Rashid. Daniel is giving Real Rashid the business. So in the early parts of this, he's talking to Louis, and Armand will interrupt, and he'll say disregard because Armand doesn't want to be part of any of this. So anytime Armand says anything, Daniel is making an effort to tell Armand what you say
Shut the fuck up.
does not matter to me. And I think it's part of a game he's playing with Armand because he seems to be. We see later in the show he's still he's actively poking at him, which is dangerous as shit. I don't know why you do that. I guess because Daniel's near the end of his life, he doesn't really give a shit anymore. But yeah, Real Rashid comes in and is serving food, and every time Daniel talks to him, he goes, "Hey, Real Rashid, what you think? Hey, Real Rashid." Daniel calls Armand something, the name of some actor, like a famous Indian actor. I had it in my notes somewhere. But just keep saying that Armand was poorly portraying the Real Rashid, and Daniel goes, he ran a theater company for 150 years. He just said, well, whatever he did, it didn't help.
Right.
Jesus, what a critic.
And then he tells him, he says, Real Rashid, I'm coming at you because I can break you. He says that to him.
At least I can fucking break you. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Real Rashid is the best. That's the best thing I heard all episode. Every time that man walked in, hey, Real Rashid. I'm like, oh, just fucking with this poor man for no reason, yo. Like, this poor man didn't have anything to do with you, okay?
Like, come on, bro. I work for vampires. Please don't mess my job up. Like, when Real Rashid, he was like, or Louis says, thank you, Rashid, you can go. And he leaves, and then Armand says, I need to leave. I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to kill Real Rashid. No, Real Rashid. He did nothing wrong. Protect my boy, Real Rashid.
Real Rashid is a national fucking treasure, baby.
Damn Protect right. Him. We stand Real Rashid, god damn it. So yeah, so as far as Claudia getting the language, Louis says that Claudia will ask farmers and soldiers to teach her, and then when they're done, she kills them. Yeah, which brings us back to, damn it, Claudia. As every single time she gets done with the language, she says thank you. Those fangs come out, and then
pretty much.
It's terrifying, man. She's still a psychopath, like she was in the first season. She's still a little nuts.
She's still bloodthirsty. She, at the end of the day, Claudia is embracing being a vampire, whereas Louis is trying to hold on to his humanity. That's the difference between Claudia, Lestat, and Louis. Lestat and Claudia have come to realization, hey, I'm at the top of the food chain. I'm here. I'm gonna live forever. I'm gonna kill people. I can do what I want. Can't nothing really hurt me except for a couple of things. Yeah, let's get
it. Speaking of Lestat, Louis is seeing visions of Lestat.
I asked you a question
going through. Yeah,
I asked you a question as soon as the episode over. Well, I made a statement. I said, Louis is schizo, ain't he?
And even at the end of this episode, when they do the preview, Daniel says, Louis, are you schizophrenic? He's just like, what the hell is the matter with you? Why are you seeing this, man? Yeah, so Lestat is haunting Louis. Throat still slit. He's still in the clothes he wore the night that they killed him. And Lestat is talking to Luke, like they have a conversation.
Yeah.
And we even see a rat break out of Lestat's neck and run away, which is gruesome, by the way. Those effects
Pretty
were
much
gnarly. That was some nasty shit.
Yeah.
Again, the guy that plays Lestat, good, that guy's incredible. He really sells that arrogant
Blah, blah, blah,
douchebag.
blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah,
He
blah, blah,
sells it.
blah.
He sells it very well. But also the like, God, I just want this guy on screen more.
He reminds me of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was a part of the inspiration.
He reminds me of Hunter Hearst Helmsley. The whole
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, like you're right. I wonder if that was inspiration for that. God damn you, Anne Rice! Don't be taking Paul Levesque's bits.
Take Paul Levesque from us. He's us. He's ours. And speaking of things that can kill them, they come across eventually houses that are boarded up and covered in garlic and crosses. And Claudia says they still think that we're afraid of garlic. They think we hate Jesus.
Right. She's pretty much calling them dumbasses as she's walking through the town, like dumbass, 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 dumbass. And then they get stopped by two soldiers. And of course, this is where Claudia's knowledge of the language of the land comes. Hunter Hearst Lestat.
How that's that?
Blah, 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 blah. So the story is that they're looking for Louis's wife, Claudia's mom, who came with I think they said Red Cross.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Something like that to help out. So they're traveling looking for that.
They have a picture of her and everything. Like they've got their story down.
And as they're doing that, this, I guess, Romanian local woman,
Amelia,
she's like, "Hey, are you kidding me? Keeping them out here in the dark? Like pretty much
what's out here,
right?" So Claudia's like, "Well, what the fuck is out here?" And like nobody's answering her.
They also saw some soldiers shooting up coffins. They were digging coffins up out of the ground and then shooting up the bodies. Which first off, would that kill a vampire in this world?
Absolutely not.
All right.
You have to cut off the head.
Yeah, they actually do mention that later on. So I guess they're just idiots, is what these soldiers are. They just don't know what they're dealing with. Amelia gets the soldiers to leave them alone. And then she tries to speak to Louis, and Louis like struggles, and he has like a real American accent when it comes to speaking Romanian. And she goes, "Americans?" Yeah. Like, damn, Louis. Damn.
Right. And she takes him back to this little,
like a shelter that she runs, I guess.
Yeah. And there's a British guy there. A journalist,
Morgan Ward. Yeah. Also her lover.
Apparently,
they make a joke later on about like, "Marry me, darling," and she says when the priest comes back, and they laugh about it, and he's like, "Yeah, they dragged the priest away." And by dragged, I mean they tied him to the back of a truck and dragged him across the ground.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh,
nice
okay,
joke. Nice
appreciate
joke.
that." Appreciate that. Cool joke.
Y'all are dark. Holy shit.
Right.
Like he said that, and Louis goes,
"No wonder." Like, no wonder the blood here sucks. Look at the shit that they want to laugh at.
The blood they have to be, happy because the blood they were feasting on in New Orleans were like fat cats and like drunkards and like just people that like weren't
having a good time.
Yeah,
Like if you were
apparently
on
it
that,
affected it.
right? If you were, especially if you were on that strip where Louis owned everything, you were there to have a good time. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So you were in good spirits, whether you were either winning money, winning women, or something. So yeah, you get over there to war stained Romania. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we actually enjoyed talking to them. Yeah, like we're getting a little ahead, but when they talk and they're like all lovey dovey, like you see Louis like oh that's nice. Like this is
That's
nice.
sweet. In the
Yeah,
middle of all of this, they found, oh,
yeah. It's
Louis,
cute.
that's your problem.
Louis, you got to keep your fucking head in the game, man. You got to pay attention.
Claudia
But
pretty
she
much says
says
that to him at one point, though, too.
she continues to, and like she keeps telling him that like he's like his mistakes are causing them problems down the line, and even
Mm-hmm.
right here. But they come into the shelter. She sits them down at the table, and then she says something that causes Louis to like pause for a second because he's trying to remember correctly how things happened. Um, sh- Claudia says, "What? Why are people like? What's happening outside?" And Amelia says, "Bombs in ground, wolves, maybe German soldiers who don't know the war is over, or maybe something worse." And after a few minutes, Lou was like, "Wait.
Yeah. She thought Claudia was a child. She would have never said that in front of
Yeah."
him.
So
In
he
front of her.
fixes it. So it's after Claudia leaves, Louis is the one that says, "What's happening here?" And that's when that happens. So this whole episode is Louis trying to piece together the correct information. We see
And
glimpses of the last season where like that he was with that soldier, and it was raining that night, or
mhm,
when Louis Lestat dropped him from the sky. Like he's
mhm.
remembering things as they actually happen more and more now.
And during that moment, I get it's an epiphany to him because those barriers that he put up to block those memories are finally opening up. So it's a flood of emotion. So we see, just like in the movie, the character Louis cry. And when vampires cry, it's blood.
Hmm.
So Daniel says, because right before that, Armand told Louis, I think we should take a break. And Louis like, no, I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. And that's when he starts to cry. And
Yeah.
Daniel says,
After,
we could take this break, like,
yeah.
because even
After.
even Daniel saw like, oh shit.
Yeah. That was an interesting point where Daniel. So the first 7 episodes, Daniel didn't give Louis any fucking rope, like any stretch
None,
to do it. And
none.
this is the first episode where Daniel's like, maybe I might have gone a bit too
Might have
far.
fucked. Yeah, like,
Um.
oh, my bad.
So before that, Claudia, the kids, uh, meet Claudia, and they're singing a song, and
Anna.
I have it somewhere here. Yeah, Anna. Walks on tiptoe through the crypts. Anna, may she rot. Anna, don't get caught. And she says, "Who's Anna?" And they say, "Go through the hole to find out." And she pushes a little boy over after he like
No,
pokes her cheek. He's just like, "Get the fuck
bro, she hit your man with the fucking Derrick Henry stiff arm for
bro."
no reason, bro. Just
I was
bang. I'm like,
crying
what?
laughing when she did that shit. He
Like,
he just
what?
like he pokes her cheek and she "Get the fuck off me." It's just,
Like, whole hand to the face, crash, hit the floor, homie. I'm like, yo, did you forget you were a vampire for a second? You're supposed to be a little girl, and you just fucking the Kang this nigga. You know what I mean? Like,
that kid was like struggling to get up too. He might have got a concussion.
Mike, that kid has a fractured spleen right now because of the way he landed. Okay,
Just hit her with that. Just, get the fuck.
right? Yo.
And Claudia goes to the hole and she finds these two
Fucking
soldiers.
Billy Blank's Tai Chi.
Finds these two soldiers and they end up getting attacked by a ghoul, a little like zombie looking motherfucker, and she figures out that's a vampire. But unlike the ones that she's known, of the 3 that she's known,
that shit is
decrepit.
ugly.
Yeah, ugly and like more monster than whatever the hell they are. No, yeah. It even knocks her into a tree to get her away from his prey. So she comes back and says, "Daddy, I fell out of a tree," and like her shoulder's dislocated. So he fixes her shoulder, and she's trying to say, I found one. That's a real fucking vampire. And he goes, it could be anything. It could be wolves, could be baboons. She goes, baboons in Romania?
First of all, Louis, let's be realistic. You're a fucking vampire. What do you think could hurt you that would cause you to come back with a fucking dislocated goddamn shoulder? Remember the ass whipping you took and how long it took your vampire ass to re-heal from that? And what did that to you? Only another vampire. Yeah. Everything else, nothing. You let somebody shoot you, Louis, remember? Twice. And told the motherfucker to reload.
That's and nothing. Told the motherfucker. Yeah. It seems like only vampires can really hurt other vampires. That's like it. So yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. And he keeps like denying it, and he opens up a hole, lets out rats, eats one, and then he says, "Get in the fucking hole. We're going to bed." And she said, "All the vampires I've known are you, Lestat, and the other motherfucker. I just want to fight one. I want to fight one vampire that isn't a goddamn bastard." Like, fair enough.
And he had no response.
Not one. And that's when he said, "Wait, when I was waking up, she was twitching in her sleep." Because in her journal, she said she couldn't dream anymore.
She was having a nightmare.
Even in her journal, she lies about what she's feeling. So Louis says, "Wait, she could dream," and he says, "Is there anything more terrifying than the void? If you can't dream, isn't sleep? That would be hell. Just nothing, pitch black." And he breaks down crying. "She could dream. Thank you, Daniel." And like you said, those tears, it was it wasn't water.
Right.
But Daniel, and like you said, Daniel was taken aback. It's like,
my bad.
We can take that break if
you want to go potty.
He's like, no, I need to finish this. And it's like, Jesus, yeah, that was brutal. They wake up because of a commotion downstairs. Amelia has been attacked. The one that helped them out earlier. And the whole shelter is like, kill her before she turns, kill her. And her lover, the correspondent is saying, "Louis, you have to help us. Louis, help." Yeah, Morgan. "Louis, you got to help us." And Louis is just staring on like, fuck.
What do we do?
Like, oh shit, it was a vampire. Claudia was right.
Right, because they removed the scarf from around her neck to show the actual wound, just to be sure. And sure enough, it's 2 puncture wounds. It's a vampire bite.
And not only that, she's already turning from the bite.
Right.
Like the wound is healing, and like she's getting this like beastly transformation. So they hold Morgan back, and Morgan's like, "Louis!" Soldiers go to shoot her, and one of the citizens goes, "No," and pushes the gun away. Will not work. Must use axe. Chop off head. And they raise it up, and before they go down, you see Louis and Claudia. They turn to leave. And
freaking.
Before that happens, Louis is accused by Morgan of being a Red. And that's because he's a journalist and a photographer, so he recognizes the photo that he took as one that was taken probably 30, 40 years ago. So it was taken 30, 40 years ago, and that woman's about 30 in the picture. She'd be in her 60s.
What are you doing with her, young man?
Exactly. And Louis says, he said, "What are you?" And he said, I'm a magical vodka. What the fuck?
Magical vodka Negro.
That's right. I'm glad I didn't finish that sentence. Yeah, that's what he said. And
go on and say it, boy. Go on and say it, Mongo. Go on. Go on and say it.
Oh God, I was close.
Magical vodka Negro.
And he says, "That's what you know. What Morgan? Now I'm gonna leave and I'm gonna take a girl." And he goes over there and dances with Amelia. And he says, "What do you see in him anyway? Do you really want to marry him?" And she says, "Yes, he's big in pants."
Right.
And then we kill her. And then they killed her. Oh, Amelia, you were too good for this world.
You really were, Amelia. They didn't deserve you. They didn't deserve you.
At least I can still say Craven. They go to leave to go set a trap, and what they do is they attack a soldier and injure him.
I got a new name.
You got a new name. I'm not. Is that how do I introduce you later on, Kenny?
MHN.
Bravo.
And it goes with NAAFP. Like it kind of like, you know, hand in hand. This works.
Also goes along with motherfucking Tama. So oh. Oh God. So they go set a trap. They attack a soldier, injure his leg, and let his leg bleed out. The vampire attacks him, and then Louis says, "What the fuck is that?" And Claudia says, "It's a vampire."
A vampire.
Goes, no.
No.
We're vampires. That's a catfish with teeth.
Oh,
it's so. This show's funny. This show can be really funny. Another vampire attacks a woman.
But the reason why that he said that is, if you've ever seen a catfish, it pretty much looks like a underdeveloped fish, like a nasty ass tadpole that's just huge and slimy. And that's exactly what that vampire looked like. It had no hair on it. The skin looked like it had ooze and juice on it. It looked like, remember Underworld with remember Underworld when they bit my man, when he had the werewolf and the vampire blood mixed into him, how he looked? That's how that looked.
Get him, Cookies. Bro, can you imagine someone, your ex meal, you fucking catfish with teeth? Like, what? That's a fight stopper right there. That you win the fight.
Yeah, you pretty much.
Yeah, that is kind of. I was thinking of kind of Blade, the second Blade movie where they had like the other vampires.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
that a lot fucking ugly.
Actually, yeah. Just my man's mouth didn't split open into that shitty shit, whatever was going on with it.
Hey, it might have been close. Another vampire attacks him, a woman. And while that's happening, Louis gets the better of her, so that the catfish goes over and starts choking Louis.
Choking his ass the fuck out.
Yeah, Claudia jumps on his back and gouges its eyes out. And it starts screaming, and then the woman grabs it and in Romanian is like, "It's mama, it's mama, it's mama, it's okay. You took his eyes. He's a baby. He's a child."
And
kills him.
Kills that motherfucker.
Stands up and says, "How is he supposed to hunt?" Which was weird because, like, well, you know, you could have nurse him back to health like fucking Claudia did to Louis.
But I don't think
I don't think
they could. I don't think they regenerate eyeballs.
You don't think so?
Nah, I think that's a dub.
Might be too dumb. I guess in that case,
that might be a dub on that one.
it might be
like even like Wolverine can heal shit, but he wouldn't be able to get his eyeball back if he got that motherfucker pop that guy.
No, that shit's just gone.
Right, like same thing. I'm thinking here. Like, look at the movie Silver Bullet. Remember the
priest. Yeah,
right. Motherfucker had one eye, and he was right, and he was
he was a werewolf. So, he was able to like repair everything, but that eye didn't come back.
Yeah, them eyeballs is permanent.
That's you might be onto something there. That might be true. They follow this woman back to her home, trying to convince her to go with them. And Louis ends up saying the blood here is bad.
Right.
It's the sadness.
He's like, that's why y'all look like that, and your kids look like that. Like the kids, the people you're turning, or whatever the case, look like that. Is because it's nasty over here. That's pretty much what Louis was saying. Like, it's ghetto. Y'all nasty. You need to come someplace else. Like,
y'all ain't got air conditioning over here. Like
we gonna go on back to America. Come with us. It's dirty. Like it's.
She says that the blood that she's taking from this, she's trying to make the soldier into a vampire, and he says, blood like burnt toast or something like that. And Claudia lets her try some of her blood, and she goes, "Oh, it's as sweet and smooth as cream," which is like, yeah. So her blood compared to like that's another example of like the blood here is tainted.
Like
the
you
blood
don't
that
know
they're spitting on is better.
Right.
She reveals her name. I guess this would be the Anna that the kids are talking about, but her reveals her name to be Daciana. And she says, Daciana, Claudia, Louis, and she says, "We own the night, yes?" I say, "Yes." And then she says, "We own nothing." And then she throws herself into a fire.
So now we know that's the other way to kill a vampire. You chop their head off, or you throw them some bitches into direct fire.
Fire always seems to work on monsters. It's just the universal cleanser. You know?
It works on humans too. Burn a motherfucker up. What it is. Works on humans, chickens, land. Works on pretty much everything.
Yeah, you pretty much kill anything with a good fire.
Right.
That's why you should always have like a fire pit in your backyard, folks. It comes in handy.
Or worst come to worst, always have an aerosol can and a lighter. Make a fucking torch. Make a fucking torch out of this, people. If you ain't got an aerosol can, guess what? You can make a quick fireball with your perfume or cologne bottle. Poof! Poof! You got a monster stopper right there. We're going to start teaching y'all monster stop economics 101. All right? You got 2 lessons today. Chop your head off and fire, folks. Write it in your notebook.
We're going to have a quiz on this in a few episodes. So after that, we cut to the present to see Louis in bed with Armand, and he says, "I know what you're gonna say. I lost control of the interview." He goes, "Yes," and Armand says he thinks that Louis should end it, and by end it he doesn't mean kill Daniel. He means send him back home.
Okay.
Louis says, I want to continue.
Right, which is I'm glad that he let Louis know that up front, so that Louis doesn't think that he would want to kill him.
Yeah,
he's like
Armand
put him on a plane and send him home.
Yeah,
and them some skinny motherfuckers.
Armand and Louis.
Yeah, they need to eat a cheeseburger, something like what? What you ever eat vegan blood? Like y'all only eat vegan? Like come on, man.
Louis said at the beginning of the episode, while they're at the dining table, and Daniel's like, "This is an interview for me and Louis Armand," and he says, "This is my dining table," and he says, "You're not dining," and then Louis says, "Well, ancient vampires only have to drink so much blood; they can go without it for longer." So Maybe
Well, I
that's
think
it.
it's time for Armand to re-up. This motherfucker look like he is a good. It looked like if he ate a cheeseburger, he looked 7 months pregnant. Like, oh
Oh
man.
God. Louis asks to see the pages of Claudia's diary that have been removed. And Armand says, we had an
No.
agreement. You know that my name is in there a few times. And we talked before about how in the movie and in the books, Armand is indirectly responsible for the death of Claudia.
Mm-hmm.
How it's his like dance troupe or whatever that ends up killing her.
Right, and he never participates in any of the punishments that are sent out. The putting Louis in the wall, the putting Claudia and the woman that she turned into the room where the sun destroyed them or whatever. He was never directly involved in any of that.
Yeah.
But he was directly involved in the killing of his dance troupe.
Yes, he very much so. Yes, he was full feet in mud responsible for that shit.
Because he's the one who freed Brad Pitt.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
but yeah, for right now, like we said last week, we don't know if Claudia's dead. They keep talking about how like she was this and she was that, but it is never stated if Claudia's dead or not. And I guess we'll learn as we go into the season. They might end up making a change there. We'll see. We'll see. Because there've been a lot of changes already to the original source material. They've changed quite a bit, but it's again, like we said before, they're good. They're fun changes. It's a different take.
yeah, it really is. It's been a very interesting point of view for a lot of different aspects of something that's considered a classic. So it's worked. Now, during this whole time with them talking to talking to Anna, looking at the vampire and everything that's going on, Lestat is still appearing to Louis.
Pretty much throughout the entire episode, he is seeing Lestat.
After Anna kills herself in front of them, they pretty much make the pack to pack it up. Let's go back to America. Shit is dead over here, bro. It ain't looking sweet. And Louis pretty much makes a promise to her and tells her, "Yo, this is where Claudia pretty much tells Louis, my issue with you is that you can't let him go.
Yeah,
and because you can't let him go, you're hurting us."
I got the direct quote. She says, "I forgave you for ruining my plan. What I don't forgive you for is letting him stay with you."
Right. So pretty much she's like, "Yo, we did what we did. You got to move on." She's pretty much saying, "Yo, am I not enough for you?" This is where we start getting into the part where it was like the movie where Claudia's love for Louis started transitioning over to an actual love.
Yeah.
And not a father-daughter.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting turn. We see Armand joins Louis for the interview, and Daniel says, "Oh, hello, good morning, boys. What's going on?" Louis said, "You have our attention." He goes, "Oh, do I?" And Armand says, "Yeah, I'm willing to join this now." And he goes, "Okay." Session 10, the Vampire Louis and the Vampire Armand. And Armand tries to take over the conversation, and Daniel goes, "What? Well, hold on. We'll get to you." And Armand looked at him
like, "I will eat you right now."
Hey, bitch, you know the fuck I am? Are you serious?
Right.
Did you point your finger at me? Bite that shit off.
Right.
He throws a pamphlet at Louis and he says, "But you didn't go back to America. It seems you went to here." And he goes, "Oh yes, the birthplace, the original birthplace of New Orleans. They're going to France."
Mm-hmm.
which is where the dance troupe is, or in this version, it is an acting troupe. He says, you know, we're on the back of a truck, making way to France, and I had a heart to heart with her, and he said, what happened to Daciana is not going to happen to her. He said, I'm not going to let you go into that void. I will pull you back, and I promise you, the flames will not reach me until you are no more. And then he says, I want you to know that if you are the last vampire on Earth, it will be enough for me.
Letting her
And that,
know, like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna let go of my love for Lestat to prove to you that you, like you said, you are enough. And as he's saying that,
look who pops up right next to her.
blah 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 blah.
That I'm again, I need to look up his name because that fucking actor, like he says a lot without saying any words.
Yeah, because at that point,
Sam
once you
Reed.
saw
Sam Reed he's incredible.
once you saw the stat pop up, that point you had no idea who he was talking to anymore. Whether he was talking to Claudia or he was talking to Lestat, especially with that "you are enough" part. You're like, mm, 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 mm.
Yeah, Claudia looks at him and goes, "Okay," like she's like believing him.
Mm-hmm.
But did Louis ever really let go of Lestat? And that made me wonder, like, does Louis still seeing Lestat? Like, is he present day? Is he still dealing with Lestat's
I don't know.
memory? Because Armand, it seems now more than he did last season. He seems a bit more controlling.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying like
remember last season he was putting on a whole facade being fake Rashid, because we know real Rashid.
No real Rashid.
We know real Rashid is in the building. Daniel even asked him. He said, "Real Rashid, where did they hide you during this whole time?"
They hide you behind that painting in the bedroom. Like, where the fuck? Where were you? And real Rashid's a big motherfucker too. Real Rashid is huge. That's a
Right.
jack dude. That man is like 6'7", 350 pounds of muscle.
Right. Don't be fucking with real Rashid, baby. So remember, Armand was a servant last week because he was fake Rashid. Fake ass Rashid. You know what I mean? So that's why he seemed so much of a servant last year. You're it's fucking Veer.
He's come. He's finally.
Terrible. Terrible.
And yeah, that's pretty much how the episode wraps up. And then we see the preview. They go to France and they meet the dance troupe. Something that the vampire, and Louis and Claudia give each other a look. And in the preview, it shows they have a picture of Lestat.
Mm-hmm.
And in their Louis goes, "What the fuck are they going to do when they find out we killed him? Like, what are we supposed to like? This is not a safe place for us."
Not at all, woman.
Claudia is loving this life. She feels like she's at home, and we're gonna see, I guess, how that further divides them or brings them together.
If this is going in order of how the movie went, at this point, Claudia about to be gone.
Yeah, Claudia, we might be seeing the last Claudia pretty soon.
Right, Claudia may have another 2 episodes in her.
That's why the other. That's why Bailey Bass left. She didn't want to be the one to get burned. Like,
she's like, "Yo,
I'm a duck out."
She's like, "What? 3 episodes? Oh, I'm out of this bitch."
Yeah. I have a feeling we ain't gonna be dealing with Claudia much longer, unless they change that. I feel like we're about to see the end of Claudia.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, what an episode! What a start! What to start the season! Jesus. It was
and the thing about,
intense.
I gave you a warning before the show even came on. I said, Mongo, I'm out. It's Mother's Day. I'm gonna watch it an hour later. Don't say shit until I'm done. And the first thing I said to you is, "Oh, we got a lot to talk about."
Because I was about to start saying something in that chat too when you sent me that. I was about to say, "Damn, Claudia," and then you stopped. I was mid typing when you sent that. Oh shit! Let me back that up.
Right. I was like, let me give him fair warning right now, because if he does it, I'm gonna be pissed. So
Episode was crazy. Can't wait for tomorrow. Yeah, man, it was. They packed a lot into that 1 hour. I'm really interested to see what they fucking do with this troop, man. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna get a twist in the original here.
well, the one thing that we do know that we never knew from the movie is that Louis ended up with Armand. Like in
Yeah,
the movie, we never kind of knew what happened with Armand.
yeah, and I think I read somewhere in the books that they split after the movie, but it's not like he kills them, so they just like they split after the movie.
Right. I
Whereas
know there's
here,
a whole set of
they've been
I know
together
there's a whole
since.
set of I know there's a whole like series of Armand by Anne Rice, if I'm not mistaken, too. At least 2
Yeah.
books, if I'm not mistaken.
There's also
So
stories of Lestat after all this. I'm pretty sure Lestat is in the Queen of the Damned.
yeah. Lestat
So
is Richard. Lestat is the main character in Queen of the Damned.
yeah, so which they've kind of alluded to in a few of their promos and trailers with other, because they've turned this into like their own little universe. AMC has, because I didn't watch that other show they did, The Witches, but we might need to do that because apparently it ties together with this. Have you not seen it? It was they like played ads for it right at the end of the first season. And it apparently ties together with this. So we might need to go back and watch that too. It's another short, like 7-episode thing.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
But yeah, that's a wrap for the first episode. Banger.
Banging and banging.
Banging and banging, indeed.
Actually, this episode we got a lot of fanging. No banging. We got a lot of fanging though. I'm thinking next episode with him meeting Armand is when we get the banging.
Yeah, that's what I would assume.
The
So
Mayfair witches.
That's it. The Mayfair witches. Yeah, it's apparently it's based on the lives of the Mayfair witch. Yeah, okay. All right. Yeah, based on it's an Anne Rice book. So apparently it goes. Thank you, cookies. Man. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's something we might need to cover.
Is it me or did your girl Anna look like Bellatrix from Harry Potter? Like
she did.
Right.
That's
I was like,
what I thought of. I was like, shit. Is that what's his name's wife?
Voldemort's wife? Like, oh boy, like, what the fuck is this about? Like, hey. She was when that vampire killed herself, the look of despair that ran across Claudia's face.
Oh man, like
because I think
she left part of herself in Romania, is what he said.
Yeah, I think at that point she realized, she may be right. We have nothing. We're gonna live forever for what? And that kind of sunk in, like, so. But yes, great episode.
Yeah. What are your hopes for the next episode? They really twist the knife in this show. It ain't glamorous. It's not. Most vampire things, going back to fucking Dracula. It's more.
love story and glamour and
Yeah.
oh,
And how like there's
yeah,
so much more than and all this shit. And in this show, it's just no, this shit actually kind of sucks. This actually,
right.
you don't have a place in the world. No one trusts you. All this stuff. Yeah, it's brutal. It's brutal. It's a different take on it, which is I love. Anything else we need to talk about?
Um, I think for next episode, I'm just looking forward to, like you said, the acting troupe.
Yeah.
I think that's the my main takeaway I want to think about for next episode because and the introduction of Armand to him. You know, like I'm because like you said, like you said, they just mentioned that they kind of split up. So at what point did they split up? And at what point did they get back together that they're around together right now?
Yeah. Or do they end up staying together after the acting troupe things
Right.
go
Like
on?
I don't
You
know.
said,
And
you said at this point it will be 70 years before the show starts.
right. And at this point in time during the movie situation, once the once Louis gets his revenge back on the troop, the movie's kind of over.
Yeah, that's usually that's the end of it. That's the end of the story.
Like the movie's over after Louis gets his revenge back on the troop. And then we see the resurgence of the stat. So my main question is, are the episodes going forward going to start blending in the other books, since Interview with the Vampire technically would be over after Louis gets his revenge? So like at what point do we prolong the episode of Louis getting his revenge if they even go that route?
Yeah, and I think that might be why the pages of Claudia's journal are gone, and Armand is so protective of him. Previously, someone tells
Mm.
Daniel that Louis is more dangerous than Armand. I want to know about that. Is that what did they say that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like, yeah, somebody's like, you worried about him. That's the wrong one to be worried about.
Uh, I mean, I guess Louis it has shown to fly off the handle quite a few times in the story. So, maybe Lestat's saying he's waiting for Louis to be happy. Is it really him? Like, is he like projecting to him? I mean, maybe.
I don't think they can reach that far.
I wouldn't think so, but also how we really don't. They don't. They do a good job of not really giving you the full grasp of what they can do.
Mhm.
Um, I don't think it's him, but I think Louis just kind of knows how Lestat thinks,
Mhm.
and like the point where he tries to apologize to Lestat's ghost, and Lestat says, "Don't apologize. It was a
No,
perfect
guys.
betrayal. It was a
Right.
lovely betrayal. Don't ruin the moment."
Right. Like, yo, what are you doing? Shut up.
God, those two are fucked in the head tremendously.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
folks, thanks for following along with us today. We'll be back next Saturday to talk about episode 2. Um,
One thing, folks, next Saturday, you will be joined by our new co host, the Good Stoner. And I'm saying this live because I told him he has to hold, he said he would, and he has to. And the reason being is next week, folks, I will not be here as I will be in Ithaca, New York at Cornell University for my daughter's graduation. So I will not be here next week to talk about the episode for tomorrow, but you better believe Mike will be here.
yeah, you know what? Congratulations. Congratulations. Uh,
Hey,
man, I remember when you were talking about her starting there. Good guy. Have we known each other that long?
yeah, bro,
Jesus Christ.
Mongo, we've known each other so long. This is going to be your second graduation you're a part of with her.
Oh shit. Oh god.
Actually,
old.
no. Actually, Mongo, no, maybe even no. Mongo, you were around for her junior high school graduation, her high school graduation, and now her college graduation. Yeah. We've been talking shit to each other for a long time, bro.
Damn, man,
Thank
you know what? Yeah,
Thank
it probably is. It probably is a little bit over, maybe close to a decade that we've been talking shit to each other.
Yeah, so, just about.
Damn, man, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what, Kenny? I know you're a proud dad for that. That's a huge thing. That's a great accomplishment for. So from the entire UTR family, congratulations.
I will definitely send her the congratulations. I am extremely proud of her. She's done a lot more than what I have done, which is what every parent's goal and dream is. And she's going to continue to do more than what I have done, which is what every parent's goal and dream is. So I'm just happy about that. You know. And ladies and gentlemen, this is the same one that went over to London to study over there. This is the one.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, I remember when she went to London and you were freaking out.
Yeah,
man. Oh my gosh. We got so old, Kenny. When do we get old?
I don't know. I look in the mirror at this damn Santa beard I got going on and wonder the same damn thing. Like at one point, this shit was black. What happened?
We were doing the podcast when it was black.
Yes, we were.
Oh God. On that note, I think it's time for us to wrap this up. Folks, you can follow us at facebook.com/undertheringpod and twitch.tv/undertheringpod. You can also get us at our link tree, which is again /undertheringpod, where you'll see our links. I, of course, am at Greg Bush SK. We've got the MHN at Rock Riz 44. My co-host for next week at Mr. Freshbeard, that is the Good Stoner, and our current predictions motherfucking champion. Matt, my forever rival at The Right Answer, co-winner of the first ever
you didn't give me
game show with Kenny.
Right.
Yeah, Kenny and Matt tied yesterday in what was a very stupid show. It is up on our YouTube channel. If you follow that, you will see it right there. I apologize. It's very dumb, but we have fun with it.
It's everything that, you know what? That game show is literally our podcast in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's a great way to, if you want to like a little brief, how do these guys react to each other? That's exactly what it is. Me being a dick to everyone and everyone calling me an asshole. That's also got Tito at Boreal Maliente, our street team captain. Last but not least, our good friend and local news correspondent, Justin D. Baxley. Folks, have a wonderful weekend. You know, be good people and
be safe.
Be safe. Is there anything big happening this week? I feel like I'm missing something. Something important happening? Probably not. Who cares? Anyway, have a great one, folks. We'll see y'all Monday. Raw and any other news that happens in the world of wrestling. And back here Saturday for Bad Blood. Peace.
And this is Henny. And this is Henny. This is Henny. And this is Henny.
Do the dog. Do the Claudia. Do the